Okay, I'm just going to go and show you the curriculum we are using. Give you a little idea of where we're at. I have a planner for him, and then this is what I wanted to share with you that I have been working on. Welcome to my channel, Learning with Boys. It's been several weeks, maybe even a month since I have put a video out, and I told you I was coming back. So here I am. It is August 2025, and I want to share my coming down to the final plans for my rising 8th grader. Now, I just want to share some things that have helped me. It's not that I've not been motivated. I'm excited about a lot of the curriculum we're using, just getting started. You know, is anybody else having a hard time with that this school year? Sometimes I'm overly excited and start too soon before I'm really ready. And it usually works out. But this school year, there's just so much changes in not my homeschool life, but everything else, that it's making it hard to jump into this. Again, I am excited about it though. So, and even getting this video out. So I appreciate you all being patient with me, especially I have so many more new subscribers. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to give you a little glimpse of what sort of helped me, everything starting to click and get the motivation of, okay, this is the plan, this is going to come together, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm very excited about that. There is still like 2 things that I haven't made final decisions on, but that's okay because we do a slow start. So I am going to do it a little bit different this school year. A slow start would be taking the first week or 2 and starting with just a few subjects and then adding in. This school year, it's just him. He's in 8th grade. He's pretty independent, so I'm doing a bulk of it. And then the second week, we'll probably jump into the full load of subjects. So, and I'll share all that with you here in a minute, but I just wanted to let you know. Now, I feel like I could tell you and spend a lot of time talking to you about how our summer went, what we've been doing. If you would like a video and just a chatty video or question and answer video, let me know below. I just don't want to take all this time in the planning video to share that with you. But I do want to mention one change. If you watch any of my videos, there's usually a bookshelf behind me. We have done a lot of changes just to the schoolroom, and that was because my oldest son I had mentioned things, and he is the type that is like, hey, I'm home. Let's reorganize the house. So it did get some reorganization, but it was good. It was what I wanted, and sometimes I just need that muscle behind it to get it done. But let's turn the camera around and look at what got me started and all the subjects and what I've got planned. Okay, I wanted to first show you the planner we are using for my son, a simple plan student planner from Mardel. If you want to look at more of this, I can share it with you. I'm pretty sure I shared some of it in my last couple of videos, but I have started on this. Obviously, our date is August 11th. You'll be seeing this video after we start. And really where I started was printing off some sheets from Pam Barnhill. I actually have her book and I cannot find it, but Getting Started, How to Plan Your Homeschool, I think is what it's called. And she does have some free print-offs, which were helpful. And I think these print-offs are also in that book. I just could not find it, so it worked out. She is known for Your Morning Basket. She has all kinds of information online and I think some classes. So, but these were helpful to me right now, and I'm going to share with you why. I also printed off, I haven't even done this, a daily plan, a weekly plan. Tell me, are you more of a block scheduler or do you need detail? And then I did print off a calendar. These are all in my planner, but these were just sort of rough drafts. Let's put it that way. They're just rough drafts. I wanted to get an idea of where we would be at. If we started on the 11th, I sort of counted out every 6 weeks. That just sort of helps me mentally to think in that. I know some people do 9 weeks. I just think it helps me better in those smaller chunks of time to do every 6 weeks. So now, the course of study really helped me break everything down a little bit better. And I'm sorry that it is in pencil, so I will bring it in a little bit closer with the lighting here. I just wrote down the subjects and sort of an estimated, I really don't even know yet, time, how many times a week. I still needed to print off some verse cards. Then for the other subjects, I also have like time limits. I might mention these again as I go through each subject and what I have printed off and notebooks and things like that I wanted to share with you today. Now, the computer I have not even purchased. That is something that is all online, of course, and that is from CompuScholar. And Spanish is something he's a little bit interested in, and I know there's some free curriculum online, and we'll be looking at that. So let me go through maybe the order of this, see what we're using and how I am planning it out. Okay, let's take a deeper look into the books and what I've had to print out and what my thought process is. One of the curriculums we use is a Charlotte Mason style, and that is for a history. That includes a lot of enrichments. So there was a lot that I had to do behind the scene with that. Also because I decided they use notebook pages, but I decided not to purchase them, and I'll share with you what I'm doing instead. And we're using something new for science this school year. So new to me that I really don't even know how to plan it out. So I'm gonna give you a little glimpse at it for now, and then I'll definitely be telling you how it's coming together later on. So let's look at the books. Okay, we are going to start with our Bible. Most everything except one thing, which I'll mention here in a minute, is going to be 4 days a week because his main curriculum is 4 days a week. Now, our 5th day is completely open for what is not finished. We can finish up on Friday. We may even do some math on Friday. It really depends on how things are going and what we have planned. So this is from Simply Charlotte Mason. It is an inductive study of Romans. My son will be reading, have his own quiet time in the morning. We will do this together. So this is more of the homeschool curriculum we are using. And we've never done anything like this. So I am going to purchase the online printable. I haven't done this. I got this used. So I'm going to go ahead and get the online and have it printed out so I can do it with him. I'm very, very excited about it. And I really can't tell you detail of how it's going to be scheduled or go. Right now, I think we're just going to do a paragraph at a time, and I'll show you what that means. But how to use the Bible study gives you lots of information there. And then you jump into the chapter 1 of Romans, and then what you're supposed to read and answer. And so these verses would be considered a paragraph. So just this little bit, and then some questions and answers. And they do give you the answers throughout the book. They do have the answers in the back of the book, which was very helpful. I was sort of wondering about that. So like this, you have the answer over here, but in the second paragraph, there's not. So you start to think about it for yourself. And then over here, there's less answers for the next paragraph. So I was just thinking about a section a day, 3 or 4 days a week is my goal. So I wanted to share that with you. We also are doing Bible memory, which is actually part of our Heart of Dakota curriculum. And I found this free printable from Julia Kite. I'm going to cut these out. I actually, not sure what my son will think about the flowers. I'm thinking about printing off little mini Bibles and just putting them over that. I hope that's okay. And I do have a laminator. I just have not gotten to this. I think this is the main thing that I'll have to finish up and be able to just have some verse cards. I think they do Romans 12, and then I want to say James. Not sure if there's a chapter, maybe James 4. I can't remember. So that will be Bible memory throughout the school year. Now, let's see what is next. Oh, let me show you these 2 books because this is going to be more 2 days a week, and this is a thinking toolbox. And if it helps you, this helps me. I just put little note cards in the beginning, and I did this in pencil. Just week 1, I'm going to do 2 days a week, so I should be able to get a chapter in. Give you a quick look at the chapters. So I think there's 35. There's 35, and I'm hoping to get this done the first semester because there's another logic book I'd like to do the second semester. So, but 2 days a week, I think figured it out that should be done by the end of semester. And then this is just sort of an enrichment jungle pilot, the life of Nate Saint. So this is what we're going to be reading. And again, just to give me an idea, once I get this checked off, I can look and think, do I need to be reading more per week, or are we going to get this done? And this, I'm hoping to have this done this semester, which would be about 2 days a week. Okay, Learn Math Fast is the math he will be using this school year. This is Learn Math Fast, System Volume 3, Pre-Algebra. This should be the first semester, and we have another book that we'll use that is like Intro to Geometry. It's not the high school level, it's just these two books together would probably equal a pre-algebra 8th grade credit. So last school year was our first year trying this. I have a couple videos out on it and I will share them below. My son really struggles with math and this really helped him so much last year. So I'm excited and also a little nervous to see how pre-algebra will go, adding in those letters. I will let you know. So this will be done. I am planning on 4 days a week, depending on how he does. If he's struggling, I may go on into the 5th day. And then I also, you can print off the worksheets. They're in the book. You don't need to. You can print off worksheets. You can also print off extra worksheets. So if they're struggling and you need to take it a little bit slower, you can do that. So really, I mean, I could make this book last a whole year if I really wanted to. I don't know if I could, but it also, a lot of people use this as a supplement. So if you're interested, check out the videos that I have that I talk about it. Okay, our next is our history with the enrichments. Includes all of these notebooks. It seems like a lot, but it's not something, we don't do all of like the geography and the President's Day. We don't do all of that every day. It's all scheduled out in this guide, and I did just do a video about this guide, so I'll link that below. We've been using Heart of Dakota for my 8th grader now since he was in 4th grade. I have been using it probably about 12, 13 years now with my boys. I found it a little bit later when my oldest was like in 6th grade. So we really like it. It does have a Charlotte Mason style. There are living books, and I'm going to share that with you just to give you an idea what he's going to be starting out with. I'll definitely keep you up to date. There are so many living books. But the first week, he'll start out reading from the Story of the World, and he actually doesn't start until page 123. He did this guide last school year, so it'll start where he ended with history. And then the second week, he'll read some out of here. I think they'll intertwine, and there are a couple more spines, and I talk about all that in the video where I share this guide with you. So he also will have a story time book that will correlate with his history, which is Under the Hawthorn Tree. This is a great book. I'm excited to read this with him. I'll probably let him do these independently, which it does tell you, and this could be independently too. But right now, he still enjoys doing read-alouds together, so we will do that together. Now, he does have some geography, which is once a week. I'm going to come around the table here. He will also be looking at this United States History Atlas that they sometimes point you to look at certain pages in here. It tells you exactly what to do. So that is so great. This is exactly what he did last year, except it's modern history. So you'll have the student pages, and then you'll go back. I had to print all this stuff out. And you'll look at the answer keys and just fill out. So he'll probably pull this out while the 2 pages he's working on and then put them back in the notebook. That works best for us. All right, so the notebook pages for Heart of Dakota are actually my oldest son who did this guide. They are in here. I just decided this is my last son. He's not using the notebook pages to their full potential, and I'm going to try to do it making up my own. So I do have an account with notebookingpages.com, and I did print this off. I haven't gone in great detail about all the notebook pages, so these are just an example of some things. So I'm not for sure. I'll have to update you on, he definitely has written narration. Let me tell you that. He has some things that he will have to look at. That's why I have these in here. They are like source documents, and usually those are once a week. And I actually have a form for him to fill out for those. They're called worthy words, and just some questions to answer after you're done reading the source document. So I wanted to have that available to him. So I do suggest that if you don't have access to the notebook pages this is your first time using this curriculum, that I would definitely invest in them. But I have them. They also have a timeline, which is in the notebook pages, but has already been done. But I found these free printables on the Facebook group, and then I printed this off from, I think, Canva, and he's just gonna glue them in there for the timeline. That is how he will do that. And there's some other things in there that he can look at, like some maps. Let's see, all different kinds of things that relate to history that he can sort of look through the notebook pages. So that is something he will probably refer to every day, whether it just be looking at something or needing to write something or do a timeline. Okay, so the other thing they have is the President's Study. And they have notebook pages that you can purchase for that too. And again, I have my son's old pages in the back. And then these are from notebookpages.com that I have an account with. And he'll just be able to fill it in this way. Their book from the guide I have is Our Presidents and Their Lives. Of course, this is from like 2008, so this is a pretty old. But he does have this updated book that is in the new guides from Master Books. So I think I'll just sort of get a feel for both of them. I'm not familiar with this one. They also have these videos. Now they're only, I don't even know what year this is, but I know it's not going to have all the presidents. This is from probably the 2008 year also. But we may go ahead and watch these because I feel like some of the questions and answers they ask are actually in the video. And I really didn't put that together. I thought this book might be enough, but I remember the videos being really good. So I think we will try this. Again, the first couple weeks is the trial and error and figuring out the schedule. I highly suggest, if you're writing out a schedule, to do it in pencil, because there will be changes, especially the more kids you have, and trying to juggle it all. But even for this one, this is how it's going to be. Everything's in pencil, and we'll see how it goes. So let's look at one more thing that is from Heart of Dakota. Okay, 50 States Under God. We are doing modern. It's American history, but it's also world history. We started this last year, and it does finish it in the guide, but we really slowed it down to fit in everything else. So he's about halfway through, and he'll finish it up this school year. So wanted to share that with you. Okay, his science, and then we'll look at his language arts. Science is new to us, and this is not even gonna, this is, I think, maybe 6 to 12 weeks. I think it depends on how fast or how slow we take it. I'm trying to remember what I had it scheduled for. I think they do suggest 30 minutes, so I put 30 to 45 minutes because I noticed in the first lesson there are videos. Now, I do have a little note over here just so I can think about how far we are and the dates and the calendars when I'm planning. So I know there's lots of videos about this curriculum online. I will definitely give you, a review mid-year and then a final review. We actually have the mechanics one too. This is the meteorologist and the storm chasers one. So, and like I said, I think at the very beginning they have you watching some videos, which you have access to once you purchase the curriculum. So excited about it. Very colorful. He wanted to learn about the weather. This is what I found. I'm excited about it for him. I really do like unit studies. I love the Charlotte Mason style curriculum, but I do, especially with science, I think it's always been worked best for us to not have the same subject year round and just do like more of a unit study, or sometimes with the Charlotte Mason, with the Heart of Dakota, we've used their science and it's different things throughout the school year. So we're excited about this. And again, we'll do the mechanics once we're done with this. Okay, language arts is going to be IEW, and he will have a literature study. I am not going to start this the first week. I probably will start this the second week That is my goal. He is doing Robin Hood. I really highly suggest the Fix-It grammar cards, especially if you've never used Fix-It. And really don't be afraid to go a level down of what you think they should be at. Don't try to rush it because it really does intensify. This is just a little side note hint as they get older. He actually has done half of this book in his sixth or sixth grade year. And he did fine. He did well, but he only got halfway through. He did something else different last school year. So we're just going to do this all over again because I think it'll be a great review. And then he'll dive in a little bit deeper. And I think he'll go through the book all the way through this time. All right. And then Modern World-Based History Lessons is a themed book. We're going to start on this and hopefully, prayerfully, we'll get through all of it. That would be wonderful. But I am not one that feels stressed if I don't. I would definitely like to at least get through quite a bit of it. This is a used book. I am actually missing some of the vocabulary cards, and I know I had them. So I'm either going to find them or I'm going to copy them out of the teacher's guide with the answers so he can have access to them because I know they're great. I love the vocabulary and these writing curriculums and how you can add them to your writing. I think it's great, and I don't want him to miss that part of it. So other than that, everything should be good. And I'll share more if you're interested. Definitely keep you posted on different things. Now, we haven't really done a literature guide at all. This is our first year. He's going to be reading through Robin Hood. I may even wait till third or fourth week, depends on how everything else goes. He reads great. I really think this will not be hard for him. It is a much thicker book, but I'm excited to see how that goes for him. Give you a peek inside the study guide. They also have the vocabulary, and I don't know how much of it we'll even do. I have a feeling a lot of it's going to be done orally, honestly. So give you a heads up on that. All right, I do want to let you know that the first couple weeks that I'm going to be sitting down with him, making sure that he understands what is expected of him. I just want to make sure he has clear expectations, that he's capable of doing it, that he understands instructions if he's reading something. I'm not overly worried about him being independent about most of this work. The science is something we're probably going to do together. But at the same time, if he had to read a lesson, I don't think it'll be a problem. Now, I will tell you that is Campfire Curriculum, and I don't even know if I mentioned the title, but I did print off like the high school level. I think they have 3 different levels, and look at me, I'm trying to tell you about it, but I didn't focus on everything else that was with it. I just focused on the high school level. So I'll need to do a little more research on making sure I explain things right to you and I give you a review. But I would like to go through that with him because I do want to know, I'm not familiar with it, and what is expected of him, because I do think, like I said, there's some videos and I want to be there when he's on the computer and stuff like that. So, but I really highly suggest taking the first 2 weeks, especially with a middle schooler, even a high schooler. I do it with my high schoolers. Maybe it'll only take a week, but I want to make sure that I'm sitting with them. We're going through the curriculum together, and they clearly understand the directions and what I expect from them, and in a timely manner. So I really highly suggest that. And if you have several children and you're like, I don't have time for that, I would take a week or two, at least a week ahead, and start the oldest down to the youngest if you have several children, or the first couple oldest. Work with them first for the first couple weeks, get them started. They usually have a busier schedule anyways. They might need to take some time off. So even if they started a little bit earlier, that would be okay. So those are just some little hints and thoughts and ways that I have done it over the years. Right now I only have one, so it does make it a little bit easier for me to be with him. So I hope just giving you an overview of all the prep work and the planning that needs to be done before you get started helped you, especially if you're having a hard time just bringing it all together. I sort of felt that way a little bit this school year, and I've done this so many years, so many times, and I've given you advice on how to do it. But I know sometimes different seasons are busier than others, and our mind is full of other things. So I do appreciate you all watching. I do love sharing homeschool content, past. So if you have any questions about that, and our present, which will be with my 8th graders. So, all right, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will be talking to you again soon.